Bro, let me stop you right there. Because you're sitting here convincing yourself she's done with you, that you blew it, that she moved on. And you are dead wrong. What if the distance she's putting between you two isn't because she feels nothing? What if it's because she feels everything, and that terrifies her? I know that sounds backwards. I know your brain is telling you, she's ghosting you, move on. But stay locked in, because what I'm about to break down is going to completely rewire how you read women. And there's one sign, one specific behavior that I'm saving for the end of this video, that 99% of guys misread as rejection. When you see it, you'll know with absolute certainty she is fighting her own heart. But first, you need to hear something that's gonna hit different. The woman who's acting cold toward you right now, she might have already pictured a future with you. And that vision scared her so bad, she shut the whole thing down before it could hurt her. That's not indifference, bruh. That's self-preservation. And I'm going to show you exactly how to tell the difference between a woman who genuinely doesn't care and a woman who cares so much it's breaking her. Because once you can see that difference, you stop spiraling, you stop over-texting, and you start playing this thing smart. So let's get into the real question nobody's asking. Why would a woman pull back from someone she actually wants? Here's the truth, and it's gonna sound wild. You two had something real going. She was warm, she was open, she was laughing at everything you said. The energy was electric. Then out of nowhere, she goes cold. Texts get short. She's busy. The vibe completely shifts, and your brain does what it always does. It tells you she's done. But here's what most men will never understand. The strongest feelings can trigger the strongest fear. There's actual neuroscience behind this, not just dating theory. When a woman starts catching feelings she didn't plan on catching, her brain releases the same stress hormones it releases during a threat response. Her amygdala, the emotional alarm system, literally cannot tell the difference between I'm in danger and I'm falling for this guy. Think about what that means. Her body is chemically telling her to run from you, not because you're wrong for her, but because you might be exactly right. And that is the most terrifying thing she's ever felt, especially if she's been hurt before. Especially if she's built her whole identity around being independent and in control. Especially if she never planned on you making her feel this way. And here's the part that's gonna blow your mind. She's already been testing you. Little tests. Quiet tests. You probably didn't even notice. Moments of manufactured distance, small pieces of drama, pulling back just to see if you'd chase. And depending on how you responded, you passed or failed a test you didn't even know you were taking. Now, before I give you the signs, I need you to do something real quick. Hit that subscribe button right now, because this channel is where I break down female psychology in ways nobody else is talking about, and you don't want to miss what's coming next week. All right, let's get into the signs. Sign number 1. And this one will mess with your head if you don't understand it. She's hot and cold, and the swings are getting more intense. One day she's all in, texting fast, laughing, opening up, sharing things she probably doesn't tell everyone. The next day she's gone, one-word replies. LOL. Yeah. Busy RN. Here's what you need to understand about this pattern. If she truly didn't care, she'd be consistently cold. There'd be no warmth to return to. But this back and forth, this is internal warfare. Part of her wants to fall into this. Part of her is pulling the emergency brake. And here's the disturbing detail inside this sign. Pay attention to when she goes cold. If it's always right after a real moment, after a deep conversation, after she opened up about something personal, after you two connected on a level that surprised both of you, that's your proof. She's not pulling away because nothing happened. She's pulling away because something did. Sign number 2. She gets defensive the moment things get real. You say something genuine. You ask her something personal. You hint at something serious, even casually. And she deflects. She makes a joke. She changes the subject. She gets uncomfortable and bounces off the topic like she hit a wall. Here's the thing. Women who aren't interested don't get defensive. They just don't engage. They let it die. But a woman who's scared? Emotional closeness feels like a threat to her, because the closer you get, the more she has to lose. Now watch what happens after she deflects and you don't chase it. Does she circle back? Does she randomly text you something low stakes later that day? Because that's her reaching back in without admitting she wanted to. That's not disinterest. That's someone who pushed you away and immediately regretted it. Sign number 3. And this one's going to make you replay every interaction you've had with her. She's watching you when she thinks you can't see her. She views your story within 3 minutes, but waits 4 hours to reply to your message. She knows details about your life that you barely mentioned in passing, weeks ago. She remembers things you said that you don't even remember saying. That's not casual, bro. That's someone who's been replaying your conversations in their head. That's someone who's paying close attention while pretending they're not. A woman who doesn't care doesn't study you. She doesn't memorize you. The fact that she knows you that well, while acting like she barely notices you, tells you everything. And real quick, if you're finding this useful, smash that like button right now. It genuinely helps this video reach more guys who need to hear this, and it takes you literally 1 second. Let's keep going. Sign number 4. She drops other guys into the conversation, but there's zero real energy behind it. She'll casually mention that someone slid into her DMs, or her ex reached out, or some dude at the gym keeps talking to her. But she's not excited about it. She's not bragging. She's watching your face. Here's what's actually happening. She's running an emotional test. She wants to know if you'll react. Will you get jilted? Will you pull back? Will you show her she matters to you? This is a woman who is scared to directly ask, "Do you care about me?" So she's engineering a situation to get the answer without being vulnerable. The right move isn't to get jealous. That's a fail. And it's not to be completely unbothered either. That reads as you don't care at all. The move is calm, confident amusement. Something like, "Sounds like you stay busy," with a slight smirk energy. Acknowledged it. Didn't flinch. Didn't chase. That's the energy that gets inside her head. Sign number 5. Her friends are way too interested in you. They're giving you looks. They get a little weird when you're around. One of them slips up and says she talks about you all the time and then immediately tries to walk it back. Here's the reality. Women who aren't interested don't bring guys up with their inner circle. If her friends know who you are, know details about you, and are watching you like they're evaluating you, it's because she's been talking about you. A lot. And if her friends start creating situations for you two to be alone, disappearing when you show up, making little openings, that's not coincidence. That's a coordinated effort by people who want their friend to be happy, and they've decided you might be the one to do it. Now let's talk about what to actually do. Because most guys blow this entire thing by making one of 2 mistakes. They either chase hard, bombarding her with reassurance, trying to convince her it's safe, or they walk away completely because they think she's playing games. Both destroy your chances. Chasing signals neediness. Walking away completely signals you never actually cared. Neither is attractive. Neither makes her feel safe enough to let her guard down. Here's the real strategy, and it's going to feel uncomfortable because it requires you to be secure when everything in you wants to fix it. Give her space, but don't vanish. Pull back your energy slightly, not as punishment, but as a genuine reflection of your own self-respect. When you do reach out, make it specific and real. Not, "Hey, thinking about you," but something like, "Saw this and it reminded me of that thing you said about." Something that shows you were paying attention, but you're not sitting around spiraling. This signals interest without desperation. It shows you have a life interesting enough to generate things worth sharing. And here's the deeper truth. When she sees that her distance doesn't break you, something shifts inside her. Because the thing she's most afraid of is losing herself in this. When she sees you're not demanding all of her, when she sees you're living fully without making her the center of your universe, the threat level drops. You stop feeling like a risk and start feeling like a safe place. But, and I need you to hear this clearly, don't perform emotional availability. Actually build it. Hit the gym. Lock in on your goals. Spend time with people who fill you up. Build something you're genuinely proud of, not as a strategy to make her jealous. Because a man who is whole on his own is genuinely the most attractive version of himself. Now here's what I promised. The one exception. The woman this entire breakdown does not apply to. There is a specific type of woman who will show every single sign I just described. The hot and cold, the defensiveness, the watching, all of it. But she will never let you in. She's not scared of her feelings, she is addicted to the chase. The difference is this: a woman who is genuinely scared, her resistance decreases over time as you stay consistent, secure, and real. A woman who's addicted to the chase, Her resistance stays exactly the same or gets worse. No matter how right you do everything, if you've been patient, consistent, and emotionally grounded for months, and she is still running the same pattern with zero forward movement, she is not scared. She is entertained, and the only correct response is to walk away, not as a power move, as self-respect. Here's the final truth I want to leave you with, and this is the part that actually matters. You cannot force a woman to stop being afraid. What you can do is become a man whose presence makes fear feel unnecessary. A man so grounded, so secure, so genuinely alive in his own purpose that being with him feels like safety, not risk. And when you become that man, you're not just more attractive to her, you're more valuable to yourself. Every hour you spend analyzing her signals is an hour you're not spending building the life that would make the right woman run toward you instead of away. That's the real work. That's what separates the guy who wins this and the guy who doesn't. If this hit different for you, drop the word scared in the comments right now so I know you're locked in. And if you are not subscribed yet, what are you doing, bro? Hit that subscribe button right now because next week I'm dropping the exact message that makes a woman who's been running finally stop and reach out first. You do not want to miss that one. Let's go.